When the old man turned 70, the village noticed something was wrong. Not immediately, not in a way that could be explained, but people felt it. His name was Elias Crow, and he had lived at the edge of the village for decades, in a crooked house, half swallowed by trees. Most people remembered him as quiet, distant, but harmless. He rarely spoke, rarely left his property, and never had visitors. On the morning of his 70th birthday, the church bell rang by itself. No one was pulling the rope. The sound echoed through the village long before sunrise, slow and heavy, as if announcing something unwanted. When people stepped outside, they saw Elias standing in his yard, staring at the sky, smiling faintly. From that day on, strange things began to happen. After his birthday, Elias started walking through the village every night, always at the same hour, always alone. He walked slowly, leaning on a wooden cane that never touched the ground. Dogs refused to bark at him. Lamps flickered as he passed. Windows fogged from the inside, even in warm weather. Those who looked directly at his face noticed something unsettling. His eyes no longer blinked. They were wide, glassy, and far too dark for a man his age. Some villagers said his shadow didn't move correctly. Others claimed it lagged behind him, as if unsure whether to follow. No one confronted him. Everyone felt it was better not to. Children were the first to sense the danger. They stopped playing near Elias's house. Some woke up screaming at night, saying an old man was standing at the foot of their bed, whispering numbers into their ears. Always the same sentence, 70 is only the beginning. Parents blamed nightmares, stress, imagination, until the livestock began dying. Chickens were found stiff and pale, untouched, but drained of warmth. Cows refused to enter certain fields. Horses reared and screamed if Elias walked too close. And still, the old man smiled. One evening, a young man named Thomas Hale followed Elias. He told no one. He simply waited until the old man passed his house and stepped into the darkness behind him. Elias never turned around. He led Thomas to the forest, deeper than anyone normally went. The air grew thick. The sounds of insects vanished. Trees leaned inward, forming a narrow path. Then Elias stopped. Without turning, he spoke. "You are too early." Thomas ran. He never spoke again after that night. His hair turned white within a week, and his eyes refused to focus on anything living. He died silently 3 months later. The village elders began researching Elias's past. What they found made their blood run cold. Elias Crow was not born 70 years ago. Records showed a man with the same name, same face, living in the village 100 years earlier. That Elias disappeared the night he turned 70. No grave, no explanation. The elders realized the truth too late. 70 was not an age. It was a cycle. After this discovery, Elias stopped walking at night. Instead, he began standing outside houses, not knocking, not speaking, just standing. People woke up and felt watched. When they looked outside, Elias would be there, his head tilted slightly, listening to their breathing through the walls. Those who locked their doors found muddy footprints inside their homes the next morning, always near the bed, always facing it. At exactly 70 days after his birthday, Elias invited someone inside. A widow named Margaret, lonely and grieving, heard a knock at her door just after midnight. When she opened it, Elias stood there holding a small wooden box. He said only one thing. "It's your turn to listen. Margaret's house burned down that same night. No body was found. The box was never recovered. The village tried to flee. Cars broke down on the road. Phones lost signal. Paths through the forest twisted back toward Elias's house. The old man no longer hid. He stood in the center of the village square, cane floating inches above the ground, his mouth moving silently as if counting. People felt older just by looking at him. Wrinkles appeared overnight. Joints ached. Memories faded. Elias was not killing them. He was collecting time. One brave priest attempted an exorcism. As the holy water touched Elias's skin, it evaporated instantly. Elias laughed, a dry, cracking sound that echoed unnaturally. He leaned close to the priest and whispered, "I am not inside him. He is inside me." The priest collapsed, aged decades in seconds. Elias turned 71 that night, and he looked younger. The villagers finally understood. Elias was not a man. He was a vessel. Every 70 years, something ancient stepped into him, feeding on years, memories, and fear, resetting itself to begin again. And now it was looking for a new body. As Elias walked toward the last remaining house, his smile widened because the cycle was ending, and another 70 years were about to begin. The last remaining house belonged to Daniel Moore, a man who had lived his entire life in the village and had never believed the stories. That night, Daniel sat awake, shotgun resting across his knees, every light in the house turned on. He told himself Elias was just an old man, a myth built from fear. Then the clock stopped. Every clock in the house froze at the same second. Daniel felt it before he saw it, a pressure in the air, like something heavy, leaning against the walls. The lights dimmed, not flickering, but slowly fading, as if the house itself was losing strength. A sound came from the attic, not footsteps. Breathing, slow, deep, patient. Daniel raised the shotgun and whispered, "Get out." From above him, Elias's voice answered, layered with something deeper, "I am already home." The attic door creaked open by itself. The end.